Welcome to the video on linking and connecting, but this one it is linking and connecting with dates. Now, oftentimes we just call these date type of problems, but I'm calling it linking and connecting because you're to try and figure out how to link and connect this. So these kind of questions are really neat because you get to figure out what dates there are, and it's sort of like codes, and you've got to figure out what's being said in this question and then go from there. Let's look at a question and see what I mean. In this question, it says, the last year before the millennium, so the year 2000, the first day of school was September the 7th. Okay. Now, Sunshine Sally's birthday was 3 days before the day after 2 days after the first day of school in that year. That's a lot, okay? When was Sally's birthday? Let's read this again. So first piece of information that's really important is it says the last year before the millennium. That's not really that important, but the part after is the first day of school was September the 7th. So you know a date, which is September the 7th. Everything will be related to that. So therefore, September the 7th is considered to be the anchor date. And remember, an anchor is where everything moves around, just like an anchor in a boat. So the anchor date, you know, is September the 7th. And then from there's some other important information. Sunshine Sally's birthday was 3 days before. That's important, 3 days before. But before what? Let's see. The day after. Oh, that's important, day after. And then it says 2 days after. 2 days after. And then the first day of school. Okay, so that year here that's when her birthday was. Now what you have to figure out is when was that. All right, so let's figure this out. The only date that we're given is this September the 7th. So let's start with that. And I've got a line here. And when you do these types of questions, it's always good to draw a line. And instead of calling this a number line, we're going to call it a date line. So that's going to be your date line. You don't have to write date line. I'm writing it so that you know what it is and you don't forget. And on this date line, you can have little ticks for each day. And usually you start with the one date that you know, and this date will be September the 7th. So I'm going to write the short form for September, which is SEPT, and I'm going to write 7. I'm going to put it underneath, not on top, because I'm going to use on top for something else. So if this is September the 7th, the next one would be 8, then 9, then 10, and 11. And you can do that very quickly and easily. Notice I'm not using anything in this question yet. I'm just setting myself up so that I can be successful and I can figure out what to do. Now, before 7 comes 6, and then 5, and 4, and 3. So September the 7th is the anchor. When you are in 8, 9, 10, or 11, that is considered to be after September the 7th. So we say this is after area. This whole area is after September the 7th. And then before would be all these dates would be before. Okay, anything before that is called before. Other words that can be used if you want to do before is previous to that number or prior to that number. Okay, so you need to be able to figure out, are you going to go after a number? And if you go after a number, it's always in this direction. So let's just show it. So if it's after 9, it would be 10 or 11. If it's before 9, it's anything over here. If it is after 5, it would be all these numbers. And if it was before 5, it would be anything before that. So from September 7th, after is anything there, and before would be there. Okay, so there's all these words to understand, because a lot of students, they get mixed up about which way to go. So now you know after and before. Okay, so, and you look at this and you figure it out. Now let's go and figure out what to do. Now, it says that Sunshine Sally's birthday was 3 days before the day after. We don't know that, so you can't do anything with that. 2 days after after what? The first day of school. Oh, do you know what the first day of school is? Yes, it was September the 7th. That's your anchor. So let's start here. First day of school, you've got that. Now you go back to the other piece of information right before that. 2 days after that. Well, 2 days after September the 7th, 8, 9. So you've got 2 days. 1, 2. So that takes care of this one. So you've got 2 days after. Notice it's after. And then it says the day after that. So the day after that, 1 day is right there. You've taken care of that. So you've got that. Now let's go to the one before that. 3 days before. So 3 days before that, let's find out where that was, because we're here right now. And so, because we went from here to here, and now we want to do 3 days before that. Before means we go in that direction. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3. 3 days before. We're back to here. And let's just put a check mark there. And it says that Sunshine's birthday was then. Okay, so Sunshine Sally's birthday was September the 7th, which was the first day of school. And you can write your own sentence answer to say, Sunshine Sally's birthday was September the 7th on that. And that's it. Okay, so have fun with these. Basically, you always have to find the anchor. You write your date line, use a ruler, label it with your anchor, and then number everything. And then underline all the important information. And you need to start with what you know. And in this case, it was the first day of school. So you started with that, and then so there's the first day of school, and then you worked from there, and you linked it all together. And in this case, you happen to work backwards, all right? But you want to figure out which direction to go, because sometimes in some of these questions, you're not going to work just backwards. You have to go in a different direction within the question. So be careful and be good at figuring out the clues. Thanks and have fun.